Alright, so starting off right off the bat, I am going in with my moisturizer by The Ordinary. I go in with a few dots on my face, not too much because I do end up also using primer for my base. Um, but yeah, I go in with just that amount and then start blending it in. Also use Vaseline for my lips so they won't be cracked. Then here's the primer. It's by Revolution, the Super Dewy Primer Elixir, I believe. I think that's what it's called. Anyways, I put on the same amount as the moisturizer, just a few dots. Maybe a little bit more than the moisturizer, because it is very hydrating as well. It gives an illuminating base, which you'll see right now once it's all in my skin. It's like really glowy, kind of glistening off of my skin. So yeah, and then the next step usually is doing my eyebrows, which I go in with the LA Girl brow pomade in dark brown, and then I use my e.l.f. eyebrow brush. I had to clean it off because it had some excess from a previous time I did my eyebrows. So there's nothing too special about my eyebrows. I just brush them out, make sure the hairs are in place. I just underline them with my brow product. Um, I don't tend to overline them or nothing too crazy anymore like I used to. I just go with the natural shape of my brow. Sometimes I'll really just underline and fill in and not line the top for a more natural brow, if you will. But here I started filling it in, and then I ended up going back in, brushing it out and blending it in, making sure the product is dispersed evenly. Um, but yeah, and then I just go back in and line the top. And I usually tend to clean up the top with like my finger, or sometimes I'll go in with a makeup wipe. But I didn't want to remove any of the primer or anything like that, so I just went in with my finger. Sometimes I'll take off a little bit too much, so I go back in with whatever's left on my brush and just fill it in a little bit. Um, but yeah, and then I go in with my concealer, which is the IRL Filter concealer by Revolution, and it is in shade C6. Which, by the way, I love this concealer. It is such a great coverage, such a great consistency, and it's really affordable. But yeah, for this video, I went in with a flat angled brush, and I really just keep it simple. Don't do such a big line. Just enough to like highlight, I guess, my brow bone and under my eyebrow. Next, I just blend it out. I don't use a sponge. I prefer going in with some sort of fluffy eyeshadow brush. Which this one's a little bit wider. It's not like long or anything like that, so it does the job perfectly. And as you can tell, I just really brush out, blend in, like, or blend down, if you will, the concealer. I don't put it towards my eyelid. I keep it really just at my brow bone, like under my brow. And if I blend it out a bit more towards my tail, I wipe off the excess because I don't want it too much leading towards like my sideburn or anything like that. I then go in with my Morphe Filter Effect Soft Focus Foundation in medium 14. I also went in with the e.l.f. Halo Glow Liquid Filter in shade 3. Um, this one as well, just a few dots on my face after I blended out the Morphe one. Um, so yeah, I just do really the same amount, and I go in with a beauty sponge as well, the same one, to blend it in. Next, I go in with my LA Girl Pro Conceal in Cool Pink. This I use for my under eyes. Sometimes I go in with a little more, sometimes a little less. It really just depends on what I'm feeling. But for this routine specifically that I've been doing lately, I just did a little bit, not too much, because I am using very small amounts of foundation. But I did end up going in with the same IRL Filter Finish Soft Matte Concealer by Revolution for my tip of my nose, Cupid's bow, bridge of my nose, and then also I put it on my forehead as well my chin. Now, I'm still learning how to, I guess, use concealer and like um use also bronzer and just like sculpting out my face or carving it out. I'm not too sure, I guess, proper ways of how to do it. But as I've mentioned before, makeup is what you want to do with it. Like everyone's makeup routine is different, everyone uses different products, different amounts. It really just is what you prefer to do. But for me, in order to blend it out, I go in with a little makeup sponge I got in a pack of 3 from Dollar Tree. I first blend out what I just applied, which is the IRL Filter Finish concealer. I kind of prefer to blend that out first because I really want that cool pink concealer to just set in on my under eyes as well. I feel like it's a better coverage when you let it sit a little bit. Now I go in with that little beauty blender from Dollar Tree and blend out my under eyes. I also save to blend out the bridge of my nose towards the end because I feel like once it's settled in on my nose, it doesn't move as much when blending it in. So it really just gives that effect of a highlighted nose. As you can tell also with the tip of my nose, it's really noticeable that I put concealer on there because it's so bright. Next, I go in with a powder puff, and this is where I either bake or I just set. In this case, I really just set my face, specifically where I concealed. I only put the powder on with the powder puff, and I really just took it off with another brush. Now, as far as the times I do bake, I will get a bigger amount of powder and leave it on for a few minutes and then take it off. But yeah, as you can see here, I'm just putting it under my eyes, and then I go in on the other spots where I concealed. As you can see here, I am just dusting off that excess powder. I just use a random powder brush to get rid of that leftover. Next, I am going in with my Wet n Wild Mega Glow contouring palette in shade Dulce de Leche. I only use the contouring shade, I guess, in order to bronze up my face. I then go in with blush. The one I use is by Essence, and it is the Mosaic blush. I tend to go in pretty heavy with blush. It's my favorite part, honestly, of doing my makeup. It just brings back the color, and I really love it. I then go in with a beauty sponge to tone down the blush. I don't put anything else on it, just the leftover foundation. For highlight, I go in with the Jaclyn Hill highlighter in shade Iced Out, which it is such a beautiful shade. It really gives a great highlight. As you can tell in the video, it's very, very glowy, very bright, and it blends out seamlessly as well. I then take my Essence Fix It Like a Boss brow gel to tame down my brow hairs and just keep them in place, which it does a pretty good job for everyday wear. Next, I curl my lashes with just any lash curler that you could have. For my everyday makeup, I really just go in with mascara. I don't wear falsies, so curling my lashes is what gives it that little lift. Now I am going to set my face, which the setting spray I go in with is Revolution Super Fix Super Hold Misting Spray. For mascara today, I went in with the Essence Lash Princess Curl and Volume Mascara. As far as my lips, I went in with a Shimmer Balm by Revolution. Now for this part, you can go in with any lip product you'd like. I choose lip gloss or a lip oil just because I feel like it's suitable for everyday wear.